leader of the Alliance for Change. Nigel Hughes, who is seeking to lead a coalition in upcoming general elections, has met with the Mohameds family. The newsroom understands that Nazar, Shell Mohamed, and his son Azruddin Mohamed have met with Hughes. Azruddin Mohamed has been holding meetings in various communities, and his father has said he would support him if he wants to enter the political arena. The Mohameds have been sanctioned by the United States government. Anyone who does business with them risks facing consequences, according to the U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control. The meeting between Hughes and the Mohameds comes as efforts continue to form a coalition against the ruling People's Progressive Party.
Welcome. Hit that subscription button on your way in first class. Costs you nothing, keeps you connected with everything that's trending in Guyana and the diaspora. Thanks.
Dear editor, Irfan Ali's megalomania is clearly out of control. A political slogan in our national passport is a bridge too far. Irfan Ali and his government have crossed yet another dangerous line in their relentless march towards a one-party state dictatorship by emblazoning the P.P.P's political slogan, One Guyana, in our new passport. This is not just an abuse of state resources. It is a calculated attempt to further blur the line between the government and the P.P.P. A passport is not a party manifesto. It is a sovereign document of our nation. It belongs to we the people and is issued in our name by the state. It therefore ought to be neutral and free from partisan contamination. By embedding political propaganda onto a passport that belongs to all Guyanese, regardless of their political affiliation, Irfan Ali has once again shown his complete disregard for democratic norms and institutional integrity. Further, this act potentially flies in the face of international standards, especially those set by the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, in Document 9303, which provides strict guidelines for passport design. ICAO's emphasis on neutrality, global interoperability, and non-discriminatory practices implicitly prohibits the inclusion of partisan political messaging. And this is not an isolated incident. Guyanese have noted with grave concern the fact that law enforcement has been mandated to wear this political slogan on their uniforms. They have been emblazoned on uniforms in the public service, on exercise books, in the education sector. One Guyana has even sponsored major cultural and sporting events. It must be understood, Guyanese brothers and sisters, that this is a part of a broader, more sinister agenda. The P.P.P. government has long sought to dismantle our democratic institutions, erode checks and balances, and manipulate our national identity to serve its own interests.
Study hard, work hard, play harder. Verb, nerve, and muscle power. Keep thinking and moving at any age. Verb, nerve, and muscle power.
In terms of Melissa Atwell, I don't know if any government agency has been notified. It wouldn't come to me. If that has happened, it will go to the law enforcement agencies. So I saw this story today as I was coming here, and I don't know if it is true because so many times you've heard a lot of rumors about this, and that somehow, the P.P.P. is to be blamed for this. So we have been made it known where we stand on this matter, but we don't every day obsess over Ms. Atwell. We don't obsess over Ms. Atwell. There's a social media commentator, there are many others, far more extreme than her, like a Rick Ford Burke. And we don't obsess about them. They have not made a iota of difference. And the fact is that people are moving away from this form of extremism. So I don't know whether the law enforcement agencies arrested her. I don't know what her position in the US is, if she's a permanent resident or a citizen. I don't think she's a citizen, but I don't know. I don't really, at this stage, it doesn't make one difference to me, one way or another, whether she's over there or over here. And she's Guyanese too. If she has to come back, we welcome her back.
A sheriff's security officer and his brother were charged and placed on bail when they both appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Wednesday for assaulting two police ranks earlier this week. The brawl was captured on video and shared widely on social media. 30-year-old Stephen Embrack and Antoine Embrack of Lot 206, Meadowbrook, Georgetown, were jointly charged with 2 counts of damage to property of 2 police regulation shirts, valued at $7,000 property of the GPF, and 2 counts of assault, causing actual bodily harm to officers Elton Graham and Hubert Allicock. Stephen was also charged separately for damaging a body camera valued at $147,000 property of GPF. The incident took place on March 10, 2025 at Camp Street, Georgetown. The 2 brothers pleaded not guilty after the charges were read to them by Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty. The defendants were represented by Attorney-at-Law Dominic Bess, who told the court that the brothers were at the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, on Camp Street to conduct some business. He said that when they returned to their vehicle, they saw that the wheels were clamped and they had an exchange of words with Officer Graham. According to the lawyer, Stephen proceeded to use his cell phone to record the scene, at which point Graham snatched the phone. This, he said, caused his client to retaliate, and that resulted in a physical altercation. The court heard that Antoine then proceeded to defend his brother, and this resulted in Officer Allicock hitting him in the head with a motorcycle helmet. Attorney Best made a bail application for his client on the grounds that they have been in custody for 2 days. Magistrate McGusty placed Antoine and Stephen on $10,000 bail each for the damage to property charge, $20,000 bail each for assaulting Officer Graham, and an additional $20,000 for assaulting Officer Allicock. Stephen was granted $50,000 bail for his individual charge of damaging a body camera.
Samsung, keeping us connected no matter where in the world we're located.
We cannot lose Essequibo. I was not wanting to look at my phone yesterday I'm glad sometimes because some people, some of our journalists who put things out in the chat group were getting me pretty upset. How we treated the people who came, the Venezuelans, the 75 or whatever number, 7 women and I think 7 or 8 children. They did not report to an immigration place point of entry. They landed up there where they could not have been. They escaped 3 or 4 other places where they could have reported. We said, put them out. Seize the boat and engine. If there are any of them who have familial ties in Guyana, we will keep them. We said, look after them well. The police did the good job. We put them up at the NOC. Some of the facilities were not as ready as we wanted to be, and I want 100 beds there. I want the food and the toilet paper and everything there for the women and children too, if it happens again. Because at any time we got to send people to Essequibo to respond to issues out there. We do not want people to come here and be sleepers. We do not want people to come and not be recognized and identified. We know that there are some sleepers here. We've put out a few already. We know Maduro is saying that on the 23rd of May, he will hold elections in Venezuela and he will appoint governors and other officials for Guyana Essequibo. And I've said today again, any person, Guyanese or otherwise, if it's a Guyanese who is appointed to be governor of Essequibo and be in place at Anna Regina, we will charge that person for treason and lock them up. Each and every one of them. They're going to be charged for treason. And anybody who is supporting them will also be charged. The issue of Essequibo and the settlement, the 1899 arbitral award, was settled a long time ago and they had no interest in it until they had political problems there, and then when we found the isle. And they sent a ship out to the rigs and the FPSOs the other day to intimidate them. And I know our President Irfan is in the USA now at the moment and having discussions in related to that incursion. We have the support. We have the interests of our international partners, the USA, the UK, the EU, India, all other countries, Africa, in respect of this matter. But in the country and at the borders, who we have to deal with this issue if it comes to shooting again. And I'm glad somehow that the Army men shoot back better them, because I think 2 or 3 of them died, based on the information we have. But sorry for the injuries. But when we're out there, we have to do our job properly so that we cannot run into problems. They can come in the Cuyuni below Etrimbang for purposes of innocent passage. Same thing out in our maritime, the EEZ, it's only innocent passage. They don't have a right to come into our place, take off the monitoring, the AIS, so we don't know where they are, and intimidate people. It is not innocent passage. But we got the warships and the planes and all these things to deal with them in the ways that should be done. So we have to get support.
"75 Venezuelan nationals, comprising adults and children, were on Monday intercepted by police in the vicinity of the Abram Zul seawall on the Essequibo coast, Region 2. The 75 Venezuelan nationals comprised 57 adult males, 9 adult females, and 9 children. Police, in a statement on Tuesday, said that the interception occurred at about 6:45 hours Monday by the ranks who were on patrol. The Venezuelan nationals were in a boat measuring about 45 feet in length and 8 feet in width, powered by two 75 HP Yamaha outboard engines, the statement said. Following the interception, members of the Immigration Department were summoned, and it was found that the Venezuelans failed to present themselves to the Immigration Department or port of entry using the Atlantic Ocean. They were treated humanely, provided with the basic necessities of food, and placed at an institution. They were deported today, Tuesday, to their country of origin with the assistance of adequate fuel and other amenities, the police said. The interception and subsequent deportation of the migrants come amid growing concerns over the large influx of Venezuelan here, and President Irfan Ali recently acknowledged that the economic implosion of the neighboring state's economy has been contributing to the crisis, and it has also increased the vulnerability of Guyana's borders. Speaking at the recent Guyana Defense Forces Annual Officers Conference, he said that criminals can take advantage of the migrant crisis and border vulnerability, which will cause an increase in transnational crimes. Therefore, he urged the GDF to remain vigilant and advance their border management capacity so that they will be able to intercept any threats.
We do every printing except fingerprinting. Delta 9 Media is your worldwide leader in custom merchandise. From t-shirts to hoodies, mugs to banners, we deliver top-notch quality to help your brand, business, or event stand out. Stay updated on the latest merchandise and promotions. Follow us on all social media platforms at Delta 9 Media. Call us today at 347-762-6665 and let's bring your vision to life. Delta 9 Media, printing that goes beyond expectations.
A showdown is brewing between the Guyana Revenue Authority and businessman Azruddin Mohammed after the tax agency issued a demand for approximately $900 million in unpaid taxes. Mohammed has 14 days to make the payment. According to the GRA, discrepancies were found in declared values and breaches of tax exemption conditions related to the importation of 3 luxury vehicles, a Toyota Land Cruiser, a 2020 Lamborghini, and a 2020 Ferrari 488. The demand comes 4 years after the vehicles were initially cleared and registered. Mohammed publicly addressed the issue during a meeting with residents in Essequibo, expressing his frustration with the tax agency's claims.
Why now with the taxes? The vehicles went through